Well, man. Let's talk about this series, man. Luka is a superstar. I'll say that first and foremost. Okay. People were trying to argue with me on Twitter that Luka was not a superstar because he hasn't really proved much yet. There you go, guys. He's proving it right now. All right. That was a crazy game. No KP. Luka just superhuman performance. This is some legendary stuff, guys. Y'all are gonna remember this like 20 years from now, and y'all are gonna be like, okay, this was the real start of the legend of Luka. You know what I mean? And we're all gonna look back on it and be like, wow, like we really saw this guy's career play out. But for what do you have? 43, 17, and 13. Incredible, man. Glad to see it. But can the Mavs actually win this series? Yeah, it's looking like a real possibility at this point. Obviously, they're going to need KP back to finish it out. Why can the Mavs win this series? Because the Mavs are doing exactly what I said they have to do in order for them to have a chance in this series. You know, Luka has to play really well and pretty much outplay Paul George, you know, and he's pretty much outplaying Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, you know, even though Kawhi's having a great series himself. But I mean, this is Luka's first ever playoffs, you know, and Paul George, third game in a row, nowhere to be found, man. Nowhere to be found for Pandemic P at this point, right? We're gonna call him Pandemic P from now moving forward, man. No more playoff P, no more Paul George, no more PG. Pandemic P is what we're calling him from now on. I got some stats for you about Pandemic P. 15 points a game in this series on 27% shooting. All right. In these past 3 games where he's really struggled, 11 points per game on 20% shooting, guys. And is this a concern for the Clippers? Yeah. Is he in a slump? Yeah, he is in a slump, but I feel like it's kind of a little bit more than just a slump, you know what I mean? Because in the previous 8 playoff games prior to these games I just mentioned, he's shooting 39% from the field. So, are slumps supposed to last this long? I don't think so. Playoff P's just not Pandemic P's just not a good performer. He's just not a good playoff performer. That's just what it is, man. And it's really concerning to me, you know. And that was the difference in me picking the Clippers, because I thought Paul George would actually step up during this playoff run. You know, that's why I had them winning it all. But if Paul George is going to just play so lackluster and just so tentative and so passive, the Clippers are not winning it all. You know, obviously they have a chance to lose in the first round right now, you know, with PG not showing up. KP needs to come back for Dallas in order for them to win the series, and he was playing pretty well too before he had his knee injury. I don't know how severe it is. Hopefully it's just this one game, but he needs to be out there. Trey Burke and Seth Curry, I gotta mention this, guys. Trey Burke and Seth Curry are getting whatever they want. They're like a kid in a candy store right now. Anyone can score on the Clippers defense right now, you know? And it's so frustrating, because I'll just say this, the Clippers I'll just say this, man. The Clippers perimeter defense is not really what we all expected. I thought Luka would struggle in this series, and struggle mightily. That's why I had the Clippers winning in 5. I thought he's just really struggled against the perimeter defense. I thought he struggled against Pat Bev, you know, who's missed a couple games, but he's not locking down Luka. We saw that in game 1. Paul George is not really guarding Luka. They're not putting Kawhi on Luka. I mean, they tried to put him on him a couple times down the stretch in this game 4, but I mean, they're just gonna try to switch it every time, right, and get either Reggie Jackson onto him, get Morris onto him, get Shamet onto him, and Luka's just having his way, you know. I think he's just getting whatever he wants. He's driving in the lane and he's kicking out to these shooters, and these guys are knocking down shots. Hardaway's knocking down shots. Curry's knocking down shots. Burke's knocking down shots, you know. And you got to get the ball out of Luka's hands at this point. You got to start double teaming him. You got to start trapping him. you just have to at this point. You got to get the ball out of his hands, you know, because he's so effective, not only shooting the ball and scoring the ball, but making plays for other guys and giving those other guys some confidence, you know what I'm saying? And making it easier for them, you know? So Clippers perimeter defense is really not what we all expected. And I just want to see Kawhi on Luka as much as possible at this point. You know, I know he wants to save his energy more for the offensive side, but you got to do it at this point. I feel like you just have to do it at this point, you know. Man, Luka is a dog, man. I'll just say that, man. Crazy. Legend in the making. The Mavericks can win this series, man. And the Clippers can be out in the first round. After all these title aspirations, after all the Lakers Clippers Western Conference Finals so easily, you know. Even I had the Clippers going to the finals and winning it all, you know. I've had that pick since last July, you know. As soon as I knew Kawhi and PG would be teammates, boom, I said, boom, Clippers are winning the championship. I don't care who else you put around them, but it's looking not so good right now. Pandemic P, show up, bro. I'm out. Peace.